Hello everyone. Today I have an incredible story for you. It's not just for your English listening practice. It's a story that will inspire you. The story is called Nothing is Free, and it's about how hard work and determination can change a person's life. There was a young man named Leo. He was 20 years old and lived in a quiet little town surrounded by mountains. Leo had big dreams. He wanted to own a chain of restaurants and become a successful entrepreneur. But life wasn't easy. Leo's family struggled financially. His father, Mark, worked as a mechanic, and his mother, Claire, cleaned houses to support the family. His little sister, Sophie, just 10 years old, looked up to him as her hero. One cold evening, Leo sat outside, staring at the stars. He whispered to himself, "I want to give my family a better life. But how do I start when we barely have enough to survive?" The next day, Leo shared his dreams with his father. Mark sighed and said, "Leo, dreams are not free. If you want something, you have to fight for it. Start with what you have, even if it's small." Those words stayed with Leo. He thought deeply and then had an idea. People in his town loved fresh bread, but they had to travel far to get it. So he decided to start selling bread locally. There was just one problem. Leo had no money to buy bread. But he refused to give up. He walked miles to meet the bakery owner, Mr. Anderson, a grumpy old man who didn't trust people easily. With confidence, Leo said, "Mr. Anderson, I want to sell your bread in my town. I have no money to pay you up front, but trust me for 1 week. I will sell the bread, pay you back, and keep a small profit." Mr. Anderson frowned. "And why should I trust you, young man?" Leo replied firmly, "Because I am determined, and I will work hard to prove myself." After a long pause, Mr. Anderson said, "All right, I'll give you bread for 1 week, but if you fail to pay me back, don't come here again." Leo was thrilled. The next morning, he carried the bread back to his town and set up a small stand near the park. He greeted everyone with a smile, calling out, "Fresh bread, warm and delicious." At first, people were hesitant, but Leo offered free samples and soon had his first customer. By the end of the day, he sold all the bread and made a small profit. That evening, Leo returned to Mr. Anderson and paid him back in full. The old man nodded and said, "You kept your word. Come back tomorrow." From that day on, Leo worked tirelessly. He woke up at 4 a.m., walked to the bakery, carried bread back to town, and sold it with passion. After 2 months, he saved enough money to buy a small cart, making it easier to transport more bread. One day, a customer suggested, "Leo, why don't you bake your own bread? You're good at selling." "But if you bake, you'll earn more profit." The idea excited Leo, but it also scared him. He had never baked before, but he knew this was his next step. Leo asked Mr. Anderson to teach him how to bake. At first, Mr. Anderson refused. "If you bake, you won't buy from me anymore. That's bad for my business." But Leo said, "You gave me my first chance. If I succeed, I'll never forget you, and I'll make sure your bakery benefits too." Mr. Anderson fought for a while and finally agreed. "Baking isn't easy," he warned. "It takes time, patience, and hard work. If you're ready for that, I'll teach you." Leo began his lessons at 3 a.m. every morning. He learned to mix flour, knead the dough, and bake it perfectly. At first, he struggled. His hands hurt, and his bread was either too hard or too soft. One day, after ruining yet another batch, Leo sat down, defeated. "Maybe I'm not good enough," he thought. "Maybe I should just give up." But then he remembered his father's words, "Dreams are not free." Leo realized that every mistake was a lesson. Giving up was not an option. He went back with even more determination. Slowly, his bread improved. 2 weeks later, Mr. Anderson smiled and said, "Leo, this is perfect. You're ready." Leo was overjoyed. He rented a small oven and started baking bread at home. His family supported him, and soon, he was selling his very own bread and earning more. Leo had turned his dream into reality. He learned that success takes work, courage, and patience, because truly, nothing is free. Sophie, Leo's little sister, was amazed by how hard he worked. Every night, she helped him pack the bread, and their mother made tea to keep him going while he worked late into the night. Soon, Leo wasn't just selling bread, he started making cookies and pastries too. People in town loved them. They would say, "Leo's bread tastes better than anything we've had before." But success never comes without challenges. One day, a new bakery opened in town, run by a young man named Eric. Eric's bakery was big, colorful, and decorated beautifully. People became curious and started buying from him instead. Leo noticed his sales dropping. Fear gripped him. What if I lose everything I worked so hard for? He thought. But instead of panicking, Leo decided to grow. He spoke to his customers and asked, "What do you like about Eric's bakery? ... Some said, "His shop is so bright and clean." Others said, "His cakes look so beautiful." Leo realized something. He didn't just need to be a better baker, he needed to be a better businessman. Using his savings, Leo painted his cart, added colorful decorations, and started offering free samples of his new pastries. He even taught himself how to decorate cakes by watching videos in the library. Slowly, customers returned. One evening, an elderly woman came to him and said, "I've seen many young men give up when times get hard, but you didn't. That's why we trust you." Her words filled Leo with pride. Months passed, and Leo's business grew. He saved enough money to rent a small shop. It wasn't as fancy as Eric's, but it was warm, welcoming, and full of life. He named it Leo's Fresh Bakes. Every morning, before sunrise, Leo baked fresh bread and opened his shop with a smile. His parents and Sophie helped him. Sophie loved talking to the customers, and Claire, his mother, managed the accounts. But Leo knew his journey wasn't over. He wanted to reach more people, make his family proud, and prove that anything is possible with hard work. Leo's bakery became the heart of the town. People loved his bread, cakes, and pastries. Business was booming, and his family was proud. But life still had one more test for Leo. One stormy night, as Leo was closing the shop, he smelled smoke. He rushed inside and saw a fire near the oven. He quickly grabbed water and put out the flames. But much of his equipment was destroyed. The next morning, when the townspeople heard about the fire, they came to check on him. Some said, "Oh no, what will Leo do now?" Others whispered, "Maybe this is the end for him." Leo felt heartbroken, but not defeated. He stood outside his shop and said, "This is just another challenge. I've faced struggles before, and I will face this one too. I will not." He took a deep breath and made a plan. When he counted his savings, he realized it wasn't enough to replace everything. Fear crept in, but then Leo remembered how he started with nothing but a dream and determination. Instead of waiting for a miracle, Leo took action. He went to visit Mr. Anderson, who had retired, and said, "Sir, I need your advice. What would you do if you were me?" Mr. Anderson smiled and said, "Leo, you already know the answer. You've taught yourself that nothing is free. Work harder, believe in yourself, and others will believe in you too." Those words reignited Leo's spirit. He started baking again at home with the little equipment he had left. He told his customers, "I won't let you down. I'll keep serving you, even if it's just a small amount for now." The townspeople admired his courage. Some donated ingredients, others gave small amounts of money, and a few offered their time to help clean and repair the bakery. Leo realized something powerful. When you work hard and refuse to give up, Leo stood in front of the crowd and said, "I want to thank every single one of you. You have taught me that nothing in life is free. Not success, not respect, not love. Everything must be earned through hard work, patience, and persistence. Never let failure stop you. Every challenge is just a step towards something greater. From that day, Leo's bakery became more than just a shop. It became a symbol of hope. People from other towns came to meet the young man who never gave up. Leo's story reminds us all, dreams are not free, but if you are willing to work hard, you can turn them into reality. Sacrifice is the price of success. Failure is not the end. It's a lesson, a chance to grow stronger. Help yourself first. When people see your effort, they will stand with you. And never give up. The darkest nights often come just before the sunrise. Leo didn't just build a bakery. He built a life filled with purpose, respect, and pride. And so can you. Whatever your dream is, don't stop chasing it. Because nothing in life is free, but everything is possible.